Here I'm looking at a little bit of history, not distant history, from 2007 up to about 2016. And the black line it was constructed by the NBER, but using very similar methodology to what I've shown you today, weighted averages of individual incentives. And this is done repeatedly over time. So there's an index for 2007, an index for 2008, and so on. What he does, or the NBER does, I know the gentleman who is in charge of this, but he uses the same set of weights throughout. And that's one reason he and I use this phrase, the statutory tax rate. Because he's using the same weights throughout, the average can never change unless one of the component taus changes, because the weights are the same. And you can see what they find at NBER, hardly any change in the average tax rate coming from personal income tax. In fact, during this period, I don't believe there was any change in the statutes around the tax rates for the federal personal income tax. All that's happening here is there are 1 or 2 or 3 states that change their tax, and that counts in this calculation, to the extent that people live in those states.
This is legal change, right? Like a law changes and then...
Or they could have one law that says these rates are going to expire. We're actually about to experience that next year and the year after in our federal tax. There are certain, even if Congress and the president take no action, the law has time subscripts in it. But these little changes, there was a state legislature that passed a new tax and the governor signed it and went into effect.
And sometimes you get a tax return. Are those just included? Or?
This comes from the personal income tax, so people with negative personal income tax are counted in the NBER calculation. But it's only personal income tax. It's not counting some of the things we've talked about today, such as unemployment benefits. We're going to come to that. But we have some little changes. They're pretty little changes. Look at the ticks here are 2 points. And the changes are well less than 2 points, well less than 1 point. And so during this period of time, a lot of economists, they were kind of aware, maybe they weren't tracking this particular series, but they're kind of aware, like, there haven't been tax changes. So if we're interested in things that change during this period, we don't need to pay attention to taxes.